Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain, and welcome back. Today, I wanted to talk about outrage culture because, quite frankly, it's something that is driving so many of the divisions and so many other things that are going on in the world at the moment. And so I wanted to kind of break this down first. You know, outrage culture, it's a kind of buzz term that everyone throws around to mean all kinds of things, you know. But where am I coming at it from? And I'm saying that this happens on all sides, on both sides of the political spectrum, on wherever else, and it's basically just any form uh, of movement or media or anything like that that is there using anger as a form of, or as a means by which to spread and as a means by which to generate action. Now, most of this kind of, the term was kind of coined in about 2008, 2009, I think, when like I was just kind of moving on from school and moving into jobs and things like that. That was around the first time that I heard it, and you know, it's usually kind of the clickbait kind of stuff. You know, it's oh, celebrity photos have been hacked and leaked all over the internet, and we're going to frame this content in such a way as to generate this outrage, this upset, this need to know, so that we gain more traffic. And usually it's a very insincere rage. You know, think about all the commentators on American TV, for instance, or even on British TV or wherever you are, probably the same, where their insincere rage and indignation over an issue is then reflected in their audience as actual sincere rage. You know, you've got the performance then being reflected in life, and because anger is a high arousal emotion. I mean, I did my video previously, which I'll link to, about anger being a great fuel for constructive endeavors, as long as you know how to channel it properly. And anger is one of those emotions that drives people to action, and it drives people to get things done and to pass things on and to move. You know, and so if you've got this uncontrolled rage that's been brought about by this insincere performance by a community leader or a some other form of fanatic or a commentator who doesn't really believe what they're saying, you know, if you put all of that outrage across and it gets reflected in such a way, then that's why these things spread. That's why this whole fake news thing that's blown up over since the end of last year, and the post-truth stuff and all that kind of thing. The stuff that is fake, the stuff that is usually negative or wrong, will reach far more people because people see it and they want to spread it. And it's just because of the way that it's framed. And as a result, the spread of that, even if you have the news source that they're quoting, or the celebrity that's made the faux pas or whatever else, even if those people then try and retract it or make a correction or something like that, the people who have already spread the information have spread the fake or false information, or the outrage and self-righteous kind of angle. Those things have been spread far further than the others. I mean, think about when you shut someone down who's getting really irate over nothing. Yeah, the anger is this is bad, I need to do a thing about this, why is this happening, and then as soon as you shut them down, as soon as you go, well, actually no, that's not the case, and here's why, then they just go, oh. Now, which one of those two generates more energy? Which one of them is more obvious? You know, it just in human actions, it shows where the energy kind of flows to, and that's why we're in this kind of situation with these people on the left going absolutely crazy and throwing their toys out of the pram in regards to human rights and in regards to some of these other things, which are all very important, but the way that they're arguing on the behalf of those things is purely from a space of misguided anger and rage. And as a result, because it's not constructive, that's why you get riots. That's why you get people being assaulted in the street. But then you go the other way, and you have the same for the right wing, where you're going, oh well, these people shouldn't be here, or oh well, this is against my religion, and therefore because it's so against my religion, it's this thing that needs to happen now, or oh, I'm being attacked because I label myself in such a way. I mean, this happens on both sides, to be fair. It and then that on the right leads to people being refused service or shootings or whatever else. It's equally bad on both sides, and again, leaving the center as the place where you can get the best view of everything around you being ignored by these people who just gravitate and get swept away by the social kind of zeitgeist. So that's kind of the what it is and what's happening with it and how we've got there. But then what can we do about it? We need to find the options in terms of movement. And the first thing that I would say is that to make progress, there needs to be that channeling of this constructive anger. Instead of going on some march like the Women's March that really, you may as well have just gone for a walk in the park that day to achieve the same result, really. You put your efforts towards raising for a charity on behalf of human rights, or for LGBT cause, or something like that. Whichever angle you want to address that from, don't go on some daft march. Don't go and put yourself in harm's way by hanging around at a protest that may turn into a riot. Do something, raise money, campaign, get in touch with your representatives and make a case, for them to then bring up on your behalf. Actually channel that into something constructive instead of something either obstructive or destructive. That would be the first big thing that I see as an option for going forward. The second is a big thing with the outrage culture stuff is that the outrage, the insincerity and so on is usually developed by the us versus them thing, the tribalism thing. It allows us to completely ignore empathy and sympathy. It's not normal media where it's like, look at this situation, here are the facts, and then here is how you can sympathise with that situation so that it's applicable to you, so that it's interesting to you. No, this is a case where these articles, these various things are literally, look at how terrible this is, now you should go do something about it by telling all your friends. It's we need to make sure that empathy doesn't get lost, and that even if it's someone that you disagree with, someone on the other side, you can still realise that person's a human being, and that they need to have their, to have things discussed with them, and they have to have the understanding. Some people evidently won't want that. They will literally just ignore whatever you say, in which case don't waste your time on them. Leave them to their own devices. They are a very small minority compared to the grand populace. We see this in elections all the time, where so many people are completely disaffected, completely detached from the whole situation, so that then you, as with Brexit, half the population didn't even vote in the referendum, and then the rest of it was split 50-50. You've got the grand majority of people who just sit there as a silent majority and don't touch these things. They may express concern, or they may express upset or whatever else if asked directly, but they're not going to just come out and throw it out there like everyone else will. And so when it comes down to these kind of articles and these kind of outrage building tactics, it's take a step back. Think that the person that is still espousing the thing that you might not like, or even the thing that you might like, they're still a human being. They can still get it wrong. Do some digging, find out the facts. As said, solid base rock, bedrock for everything else that you want to build in life are the facts of the universe around you, but also, take a step back and just go, that person's still human. They're the same as me. They're fallible. They're stupid. They're frail and weak. There's no reason for me to fly off the handle or be hugely upset with them about something that doesn't matter. Yeah, even if it's a huge issue, that person can still be wrong. I've taken aim at Donald Trump several times in various videos because he is a joke, but at the same time, do I actually hate him? No, I feel quite sorry for him. He's gone and jumped into this thing, and he's completely out of his depth. He has no idea what he's doing, and now he's getting a whole load of hate for it, when before he was just a kind of comedy character from reality TV. That's going to be a big jump. I would imagine that whilst he's actively being obtuse, internally, that obtuse kind of demeanour is the only thing that's keeping him from crumbling. Does that mean he's above criticism or ridicule? No, absolutely not. But does it mean that he's still human and that there should be at least a little bit of realisation and empathy there? Yeah, because an eye for an eye just means that everyone ends up blind. But then the way forward, we've got a couple of options, a couple of things that we need to do, and again, it comes down to have the discussions, educate people, use fact, and then when it comes to the people that won't accept fact, they are in the minority. They aren't people that are going to be hugely obstructive in the long, grand scheme of things. So go and move on to someone that's willing to listen, that's willing to have the conversation, that may be more useful, both in terms of you gaining understanding for yourself, but also in terms of receiving what you're saying, gaining that understanding and moving on. And in regards to outrage and all of this indignation, do I wish the media would stop doing it? Yes. Do I wish you would have these both kind of cults of personality or ideologues and things like that? Do I wish that they would stop? Yeah, I do, because the more they do it just shows the less there's so much less in the way of substance to the things that they're espousing. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. This outrage culture that's going on, that's kicking off with all of these different wars on so many different fronts, all these quiet wars of throwing insults at each other on Twitter, or trying to push through legislation that really doesn't have any place in being in law. All of these things. Tell me what you guys think. It's a troubling situation when outrage and indignation and kind of victimization and things like that all stand out ahead of being rational and sensible and talking to people and being empathic. But anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think, what your experiences are, what your feelings are about some of these different movements that are very specifically focused on outrage culture and upset. So please leave your comments down below. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you found this video at all interesting or useful, then please drop me a like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.